And let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun with my main man, DRE.
What's really good?
And I am JD, aka He Who Pods. And we're back one more again with another episode for y'all. And we're doing things a little different today, but we're going to start off as usual. And so let's keep that the same. Dre's got food. Hit him with the sponsored by, brother.
All right, now it is actually going to be different because this one, even though it's food, I won't consider it a sponsored by. Okay. But I think it's interesting and I want to talk to you about it. And I know you heard of it. So, have you heard of the Cardi B Offset McDonald's bullshit? Yes.
Yes, I have. I actually saw an ad for it already.
We share our favorite McDonald's order.
And we start with a cheers.
Oh, I love this shit.
Let's eat.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, man. So the Cardi B Offset. Do you know what's in it? Do you know what you get?
I don't.
You probably saw it a little bit in the when they showed it while they were like cheersing and shit each other. But what do you get? Well, you get a cheeseburger, you get a quarter pounder, an apple pie, some sauce, large fries, and you just choose 2 drinks. So if we added it up calorie-wise, cheeseburger's 300 calories, the quarter pounder is 520 calories, apple pie is 230 calories, large fries is about 480 calories, and depending on what kind of drink you get, it could be somewhere between like 290 calories or something like that. So for both, because you get 2 drinks.
Right.
Now, I think it's fucking interesting. I'm like, yo, I'm not mad at her or him. You know what I'm saying? To be like, we're going to like do this deal. But in terms of our show and food and fitness, I'm like, what the fuck? On all sides, meaning like, okay, all of a sudden, taking your lady to McDonald's is now like associated with a romantic meal. And how is, how do you have like a McDonald's date? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just weird to me. And it's McDonald's, like, I don't hate on McDonald's, but at the same time, it's like, yo, this is probably not the best thing you want to have with you and your lady. You know what I mean? It's junk food. It's like, don't get me wrong. Like, I eat McDonald's sometimes too, but like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for like inexpensive dates. It doesn't have to be, at the best restaurants or whatever. But I don't know, to sort of associate McDonald's meals with like a loving and romantic like time out. I'm just like, I'm impressed and offended at the same time. So I don't even know how to really respond.
Okay, why? Well, let's start.
Impressed
okay,
because
go ahead.
Yeah. I'm impressed because it's like, yo, I'm not mad at Cardi B and Offset for getting this like $1 million deal. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Who's going to leave money on the table? I wouldn't leave money on the table. You wouldn't leave money on the table. Right. Go for it. And the thing that makes me kind of upset is because, look, McDonald's is fast food. McDonald's is junk food, right? It's not the food you plan to get. It's like, hey, you know what? We're in a pinch, or, we're hungry. We didn't, we need to stop somewhere real quick. Let's just grab something, get it and go. But this sense of like, hey, we're going to sit here and we're going to have this like romantic time out, and then trying to now associate this food with like quality time, to me, that's kind of like offensive to me as a like fitness professional. and I really wanted to get your take on it. You know, that's why I didn't really like prep you.
Right.
Basically.
No, you did
I know
good. That was good.
We usually do.
Yeah, no, that was good. So a couple things.
All right. Now let's see if this works. So, I guess we'll start from my response
Okay.
of the whole Cardi B thing.
Okay.
So I don't need specs. So, yeah, this is not the first meal McDonald's has done from a celebrity, a black celebrity specifically.
Oh, yeah.
They had a Travis. Yeah, they had a Travis Scott.
Yep.
Well, specifically naming the meal after someone is kind of new. In the past, they've had it where like they might show a celebrity eating a specific thing. This is the first time I've seen in a long time, maybe even ever, that it's like a specific name meal, right? Where we had the Travis Scott meal,
Right.
we have the Saweetie meal, and now we have this third one, which is the Cardi B and Offset meal.
Didn't Chance the Rapper have one too? I feel like Chance may have had one. Am I wrong?
I don't know that answer.
Yeah,
it's possible,
yeah,
but I don't know that answer.
I feel like he had one, but I don't know. Yeah, but you're right.
It's possible. I don't remember.
They come along. You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, so where people have had different like sponsorships, these are three specific meals that have kind of come out in the last couple of years, in the last 2 or 3 years. As far as the marketing side goes, I think it's great marketing. I think it's really smart business move. It's a really smart business move for Cardi and Offset, specifically because yes, they have 3 different followings. If you think about it, they have Cardi B has her own very large following. Migos has given Offset, and now Offset and his solo career have a following. And as a couple, a power couple, if you will, people are fans of them as a couple, right? And so we have this multi-leveled fan base now getting pitched this meal. So I think as far as that goes, it's a really smart move on behalf of McDonald's and Cardi and Offset. As far as the quality of the meal, I mean, it's McDonald's, right? I mean, we know what we're getting when we go to McDonald's.
Right.
It's not.
It's burgers and fries,
it's not
people.
Going to be right. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's McDonald's. Like, you know what you get when you go to McDonald's.
Right.
You can't expect. We're not expecting fitness conscious food here, right? McDonald's is not trying to pitch these meals to cyclists, fitness enthusiasts, marathon runners, bodybuilders. Those are not the people McDonald's is interested in pitching this meal to.
It's not brunch, you know what I'm saying? Poached eggs and salmon or some shit.
Right. And no, this is not that kind of food. This is not, a place where you're going to sit down and have a hearty meal. It's McDonald's. And so you know what you're getting when you go to McDonald's. And so I don't think that they're expecting anyone who does a fitness podcast to really be the kind of person who's walking in and ordering this meal.
Okay.
Now, I do disagree with one thing you said, though. You said that you don't think people plan on going to McDonald's. Yeah. On that, I got to disagree a little bit. Even myself, there are times when I'm like, man, Wednesday, I got a really busy day. I think Wednesday I'm going to make sure I have such and such fast food. That's true. And I'm not saying a name because they're not paying us. But there are times when I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And I also disagree because I think even if me or you who are health conscious and are in the fitness, realm, even if we don't plan to go to McDonald's, I think there are people who are fans enough of McDonald's who say like, yeah, tomorrow night for dinner, we're going to plan this McDonald's, and go. And I also think, who knows, maybe this is a good way to save money. I don't know how much the meal costs. We didn't get to that part.
I can tell you.
I didn't see it in the ad. You know how much it is?
Yeah, so on the app, it's about $15, a little over $15. It probably varies from state to state, but it's about $15, so under $20.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, maybe this meal could be split into 2 or 3 or 4 people. I don't know how people eat who plan on going to McDonald's. But if you could feed 4 people for $30, that's not bad. Again, not the best choice of quality of food. This is high calorie, empty calorie, high cholesterol, all the good stuff that we already know.
Yeah.
Good stuff, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So we know that already. As far as this being a high quality date, like the ad is, I think that's more of a satire. I don't think the very wealthy Cardi B and Offset are looking at McDonald's as a high quality, let's dress up and get sexy for this kind of date.
Yeah.
In fact, in the ad, you see that like it's definitely not a McDonald's that they're at. So I think it was more of a satire. I don't think this was really.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
I don't think this was really telling people.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't think that Cardi B or Offset would co-sign that McDonald's is a 5-star, catch steak or some shit. Like, so yeah, that's what I think. But again, I mean, it's McDonald's, right? Like, you know what you're getting when you go to any fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
So even if you saw this ad and you did not think it was a satire and you did think it was awesome, well, then you probably already go to McDonald's. And I'm not even saying that as a knock. I'm saying you probably was like, oh, okay, now me and Dre can eat for half the price of what we normally would spend. Because that meal, any meal at McDonald's today is above $10 anyway.
Right.
So for me and you to get that same food minus the apple pie, it's probably going to be $15, $20 anyway. So give me the apple pie and let me save $5.
You gotta have the apple pie. No, I'm kidding.
Gotta have the apple pie.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it was a satire because I mean, I'm sorry, it's just like so many things that I think are satire, and I'm laughing. I'm thinking people are not going to take this seriously, and I look and I see people honestly taking it seriously, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like we live in this sort of like bizarro world sometimes to me, where it's just like, nah, that's supposed to be like a joke. Y'all not supposed to, Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump is running for president. Ha ha ha. That was funny. Oh shit, he won. Like, are you crazy? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that's nuts. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't hate on McDonald's. Right. There's no surprises. McDonald's menu is McDonald's menu. It's been that menu since the 50s, and they only just added things to it.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. This is a new thing where they're like, yo, let's get rappers associated with meals, especially rappers who have these followings. And from what I can tell, the little research I did, it's doing pretty well because it started out on some like Valentine's Day stuff. We're way past Valentine's, and they're keeping it. They're like, yo, like, you know how much money we made with this? Like, nah, we're gonna let this rock for a little minute because all they're doing is selling the stuff they already have. Quarter pounder cheese, a cheeseburger, apple pies, fries, and a drink. That's a regular. There's nothing special added to that. That's just a regular McDonald's.
Right, that's
menu.
already there.
Yeah. So if they could push out more meals by putting these celebrity, I guess, endorsements with it, I mean, why not? It's just as right. I am a fitness person. This is a fitness podcast, and I'm always about okay. Like I said, I'm not anti-McDonald's, but I'm like, yo, it's about choices, right? So it's like, okay, well, if that's what you're choosing, knock yourself out if that's what you want, But I feel like the average cat that's going to get this McDonald's meal isn't going to look like Cardi B, and he probably isn't going to look like Offset. They're probably going to be people, as you said, who frequently go to McDonald's, and they'll probably have a body that's associated with someone who frequently goes to McDonald's. And it's like now you have more reason to eat something that you've always been eating because, hey, if it's good enough for Cardi B, it's good enough for me type thing. And I just think that would.
And I'm saving $5.
Yeah, and you're saving $5. So you know what? Yeah, knock yourself out. But yeah, I just had like this little love-hate kind of thing for it, and I thought it'd be fun to mention. That's all.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Listen, I want Cardi B and Offset to make all the money.
All of it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make all the money. The McDonald's money, whatever else money, you know what I'm saying? Like, make all the money. I ain't mad at y'all at all.
You ain't never lied.
But I think we also have to be smart as consumers, right? Like, everything that your celebrity crush or the people you admire do may not be for you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Which leads us right into our next topic.
All righty then. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, take that sip.
All right. So there is an internet phenomenon who also is a Guinness World Record holder, who I recently have become a big fan of. And that man's name is David motherfucking Goggins. And right, David Goggins, for those who don't know, up until very recently, he held the pull-up record. He did over 4,000 pull-ups in 24 hours. The record is most pull-ups in 24 hours. It recently got broken, but he was the holder of that record. He also has done a 205-mile race. I don't know the exact details of that, but I believe that's also a Guinness Book of World Records that he holds. He's an animal. And so for those who don't know his story, the quick version is he was a heavy guy. He weighed 297 pounds, I believe it was. He had a very wild, rough, fucked up life. He wanted to be a Navy SEAL. And so his story, which a lot of people knows, this is where it begins for most people. His story before that, a lot of people don't know. But this is where we'll start for the purpose of this conversation.
Sure.
And so he wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and he was already past the usual age of recruitment, and he was clearly overweight. He found a place that would take him. He had to do two things simultaneously, which was study for a specific test you have to pass to enter the Navy. And then he also had to lose over 100 pounds in 3 months. And so in 3 month span, he had to both pass this test. I forgot the name of the test, but it starts with a V. If I can find it in between now and when this comes out, I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
But whatever, he had to pass this test,
Yeah.
and he had to lose over 100 pounds. And so David Goggins went on this wild journey of both studying and working out every day, grinding. And in less than 3 months, he loses over 100 pounds. So to just explain a little bit, to enter, you have to be a specific height and weight. You have to be a specific weight, which is based on your height. So based on his height, he had to weigh 190 something pounds. He weighed 297, so he had to come down. So he accomplished it, and David Goggins is now revered as this monster. People look at him as a superhero. He's also a best-selling author today. He has 2 books that are out and widely sold. And I didn't know shit about him until maybe like August of last year, or maybe even September. It was like the beginning of the fall when I said on here, right after I said on here that I was going to start doing running and kind of like training for a marathon. And I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and she was like, "Oh, okay, you on your David Goggins shit. I got you." And I was like, "Who is David Goggins?" She's like, "Oh, no, never mind. Don't even look him up because I know your style. Forget I said it. Erase that name from your brain." And I was like, "Oh, now I got to look him up." And I started looking him up, and I found all of this stuff. And so I have now consumed tons and tons of David Goggins content. I recently purchased the audiobook for his first book, which is called You Can't Hurt Me. And the reason we decided to talk about David Goggins is because David Goggins has kind of made extreme fitness popular. And so even someone who you and I both follow, Dre, Rich Roll had David Goggins on his podcast. And he said on the podcast that he actually was inspired by Goggins to get into ultra marathons. And so I was like, holy shit, look at that. And so David Goggins is revered as this ultra marathon runner and like an extreme sports dude. There's so much to say, but I'm trying to give a quick version here. And so Dre had an idea, and I'll let Dre tell y'all the idea.
Well, yeah, the idea is very simple. I disagree with a lot of David Goggins' perspective. and I know what side that you're pretty much on. And I wanted to have this conversation with you where we're both on two different sides. And, we usually see middle ground. And there's some things that I agree with him about. But my stance is that David Goggins is toxic to the fitness industry, period.
Okay.
That's my stance. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand adversity. I understand, what he had to do, but I just feel like, this dude is toxic, and I'm going to try to prove that in terms of the fitness industry, right?
Okay.
Where should I begin?
Well, I was going to ask first, for the listeners, can we define what you mean by the fitness industry?
Yeah. So what I mean by the fitness industry is the people that you and I talk to when we make this podcast, right? We talk to people who are trying to get into fitness. They're getting their toe wet a little bit. They're beginners. They might be intermediate, and they want to embrace a better lifestyle. They want to embrace fitness. They want to embrace health, and they understand that, hey, diet and exercise is a big portion of that. And so,
okay,
let me, try to get into this thing, and are there some tips out there that I can use? People tell you, why do we start this podcast, right? Because people always come to you asking you stuff. People always come to me asking me stuff.
right.
And I was just like, yo, you know what? Let's just put it out there and, have our normal conversations that we usually have, before there was a pod, and put it out to the people. And maybe it'll inspire and help people, either get started or to keep going on their fitness journey. And so when I say that he's toxic, that's what I'm saying is that the things that he's saying just puts acid into everything that I just said. You know what I'm saying? It's not helpful for those kinds of cats. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's this sense of like, no excuses, just keep going, forget about the pain, do shit that you don't like to do. I'm like, what? No, hell no, don't do, no, stop being a bitch. What does that mean? Like, I know.
But you say that.
But I know you and I say all the time, like, hey, if something is like hurting you, calm down for a minute. Like, you don't want to break yourself by doing this because you could cause permanent damage. But he's not saying anything like that. He's just like, yo, the pain means to keep going. What? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. That the pain mean if you keep going, you could permanently hurt yourself. And that is part of the toxicity that I feel he's spewing. And, it needs to be addressed. And I'd like to address it on this podcast with you. And, let's see if we can enlighten one another.
Okay.
As it were.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wait, is it on me now?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I think that Goggins' mentality and Goggins' message were very raw in the beginning. And I think a lot of the things that we see today that have gone viral are the things that you've said, where it paints him as this extremist, where it paints him as this person who's like, I don't give a fuck if my foot is broken. I'm going to duct tape my shoe and keep going.
Right.
Right? But like anyone else in life, there's evolution, right? And so today, Goggins' message, where he knows and understands, it's kind of been skewed, and people have taken sound bites like anything else, right? So he has further explained what he means. And so he recently dropped the second book, like I said, and in the second book, he's doing his round of interviews and podcasts to kind of talk about the book, but people ask him other questions. And so this is one of the things that he's addressed. And so Goggins says, and I guess we'll start backwards, but as far as pushing past the pain, what his thing is that a lot of people push to what they say is 100%, right? It's like, I gave this workout my all and I stopped. He feels that's not true. He feels a lot of times what happens is we psych ourselves out mentally and we say, I stopped when I could, but really you could have kept going, right? And so his thing is, he realized within himself, he really was stopping at maybe 40%, not 100%. And his journey has been and still is to find what is the 100%. And so that's what his message is. His message is, what is really your limit, right? Kind of like the movie Point Break, which we've discussed before, the newer version. There's a quote that I love, which they say, when a man looks for his breaking point, he only sees limits. It's not until you push yourself to the point of breaking that you find out where your limits really are. And so that's kind of where Goggins is at with it, right? Where it's like, I ran a mile and I stopped. I think that was good for today. Or I ran a mile and it started getting challenging, so I stopped. But really, you probably could have got out 5 miles if you really pushed yourself to that 100%. He feels like people kind of stop when it gets difficult as opposed to when they've hit empty. And there's a difference, right? And so his thing is push yourself. And he's explained that, like I said, in the most recent round of stuff, the last maybe 6 months. And so he's saying, if you can only run a mile, that's okay. You don't have to run 205 miles. In fact, you shouldn't run 205 miles. But what you should do is say, okay, today I could only do a mile. Okay, go home, rest up. Tomorrow, push past the 1 mile. And keep doing that. Every day, challenge yourself. Every day, challenge yourself with those limits. Push and push and push and push, which we've said here as well. I remember when we spoke about Natalie Portman training for Thor, you were saying that's what you would tell her. You would tell her, okay, that's what you did. You did, I don't remember the number, but let's just say 10 pounds. You say, okay, tomorrow let's try 15 pounds. Right? And so that's kind of the same thing David Goggins is saying as far as limitations. He's saying that we put these mental caps on what we can do, where it's like, well, I can only run 5 miles. I can only run 10 miles. Well, you don't really know if you're not pushing yourself. Because if you say to yourself, I can only run a mile, you're only going to run a mile. If you say, hey, I can only lift 20-pound dumbbells, you'll never go above 20-pound dumbbells.
I agree with that. I agree with that portion. The problem is, how do you assess? And if you remember when we had that conversation, I always say assess and then see where you are, right? So it's like you do 20, you assess. How do you feel? Is it super sore? Is it not that sore? It's not that bad. Okay, well now, add a little bit more. But the assessment is important. I would never tell someone to just keep going harder and harder. There's another bodybuilder that I follow, Greg Doucette, his whole thing is harder than the last time. He does that's his like signature line. Harder than the last time, harder than the last time. It's like, well, what does that mean? Like every time you go into the gym, you have to go harder, like you have to do more weight, you have to do more time, but every time you go, make sure it's harder. And I'm like, I don't really agree with that, because you have to know. You have to feel out when you're coming to your limit. Also, we realize we're just regular cats, right? It's like we have to balance this whole workout stuff with our lives. People might have to go to work after that. People might have to, take care of kids and everything else. So it's a balance. And when you have an extreme mindset, you tend to go all the way out on one thing, and then the other stuff will suffer. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like you said, when he said, okay, I'm going to lose this weight, right? Because I want to be in the military, this special unit, and I got to study for this thing. Nothing else matters. Everything else by the wayside. Fuck my relationships, my friends, fuck all that. Because the only thing that matters is this. For me, I'm like, I'm not saying not to, but I'm also like, that's an unbalanced dude. That's an unbalanced cat. I'm a martial artist first, and I believe in harmony. You know what I'm saying? I believe in balance. And this is why my clients, when I'm training them, I consider all that. When I sit down with a client, and I just got a new one, tell me about your life. Not just your fitness life, but I want to know about everything. Okay, how many kids you got? What kind of work do you do? What kind of blah, blah, blah. Now, it's my job as your fitness coach or trainer to say, okay, I'm going to come up with something that takes all that into consideration and help you get results, because those things are important too. And so I would never have you wild out. You know what I'm saying? I would never have somebody just keep going. Nothing else matters. Like, nah, no, that is not the way, as the Mandalorian was. You know what I mean? That is not the way. That is not how to do it. You have to have balance. I mean, I got actually videos pulled up that I really wanted to have you respond to. If we got time, we could do that. Where he's like, one of them that I have.
Yeah, I got time.
He's like, rest day, fuck out of here. Okay, so you don't believe in
I know this video.
You don't believe in recovery? Nah, there ain't no such thing as there's no rest days. You just keep going and going and going.
Yes.
That's a great way to get zero fucking results, because, I mean, even if you're a runner, your body has to recover. You know what I'm saying? You're not a super person. Only thing you're doing is breaking yourself down. All exercises break your body down. Every exercise you do breaks your body down. It's the rest part that rebuilds. And if you're saying, nah, you'll never need a rest, you're creating a lot of damage, you know? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share some of these videos, and then I'll let you respond. And, you know, and people in the comments can say, you know, what they feel about it. And it's no particular order, but I'm just going to like go.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the specs on, even though I think I know exactly what video you're talking about already.
Body and mind will always adjust to more suffering, to more pain. If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself. Stay hard.
Okay. So they're all short, so it's not going to take that much time. So do you want to respond? You want to respond on that one before I go to the next?
Yeah, well, I kind of already did, right?
Yeah.
I said that his whole thing is that the mind tells us to stop way before.
Right.
So we set these mental caps. That's what I was saying. Like, he says often we put these mental limits ourselves, right? We often say, I can only do this.
Right.
But if you keep going, you can go past that, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's wrong. I think we have seen that many times. I won't say names, but there's someone you and I both know who watches this podcast who we used to always tell them how they could lift more weight than they would try to lift. Yeah. They would say, I'm going to do the same as you, knowing they were naturally stronger and could lift almost 2 times that amount of weight.
Right. They played it safe.
They were putting a mental limit on themselves.
Right. They played it safe, and I don't agree with that. But here's the part that I'm like looking at that and like, I feel like that's toxic, because a lot of it I do agree with, but the toxic part comes from me when it's like you have to go into the darkness. Okay, no, you don't have to go into the darkness. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost like, be easy.
But what does that mean though? When he's saying going to the darkness, he's talking about up here. Mm-hmm. He's saying go into the. So what Goggins does, and I guess I have to share this so people could understand a little more, is when things get challenging, Goggins goes into this place in his mind. He calls it the cookie jar. And Goggins has created this place in his mind where he kind of houses the things that push him forward, right?
Right.
Dark times, traumatic times. He has them kind of bookmarked in his brain.
Right.
And so when he feels like, man, this run is kicking my ass, he starts thinking about that shit. He starts thinking about the violence he experienced as a child, the trauma he witnessed when his mom was being abused, and all of these other things, the 3 hell weeks he went through in the Navy, which another record that no one else has done before. This is not a good thing, though. He goes into that place in his mind, and that's where he kind of pulls energy from. That's where he pulls motivation, inspiration from. Right. So when he says the dark place, that's what he's saying. He's saying, okay, well, you know, JD went through this traumatic experience at 23 years old. when things get challenging, that's where I should go to keep pushing forward. Use that as my way to get a second wind, if you will.
Yeah, and I dig it.
That's what he means by
And
the dark
I
place.
dig it in the sense of like, yo, trying to take negative energy that's there and convert it into positive energy. But
Yes.
when you say, okay, you have to go to a dark place, for so many people, that's scary for them. You see what I'm saying? And so it's just like we're just saying. So when you're telling someone, hey, go to a dark place and get this energy, for a lot of people, it's like, yo, wait a second, I'm not trying to go into a dark place. Or now I'm afraid to go anywhere because you're asking me to go into a dark place. Now, it's one thing if he says, when I'm doing this, I go into a dark place. But you're telling other people that that's where they should go. And this is why I'm like, toxic. No, you don't, in my estimation, you don't tell people to go to a place if they don't need to. Because you can get the energy you need from an enlightened place. You can use positive reinforcement rather than just being like, yo, all that negative shit, ball that shit up, use that motherfucker and go forward. And some people can't do that. And that is a very military type mindset. But
right,
how many people, the percentage of people are from the military or police type backgrounds? You know, most of us.
But it's also a Sith mentality. We're fans of the Sith, and that's what the Sith say. The Sith say the Sith say the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah, you're right. Everyone can't do it, but I mean, I think you can do anything if you train yourself to do it. The question is, do you want to do it?
Right.
Do you want to go to that deep, dark place and say, hey, I'm going to go back to this really traumatic experience from when I was, I don't know, I'm freestyling here. But when I was 9 years old, blah, blah, blah happened, and I've been traumatized ever since. Do you want to go there? That's up to you as an individual.
Right.
Now, for some people, yes, they may never want to ever go back there. It might be scary and really do the opposite. It might make their body completely shut down. He's saying what he knows works for him.
Right. And you're right to use the Sith analogy because that's definitely what's happening. And we realize like why these motherfuckers turn into the monsters that they turned into, right? It's like, I mean,
but that's the thing. You want to be a monster or not?
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, but at the same time, I mean, we can fully go there, you know? It's like, Anakin, you killed your fucking wife, bro. The person you loved because you kept going so fucking dark that you killed the whole motherfucker you was doing this shit for. Son, you're
right.
fucked up right now. Slow the fuck down. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
His whole people was like, Anakin, yo, where the fuck are you going? And he just kept going darker. And so what I'm saying is, bro, you may not need to go there if you don't have to. If you have to go there, go there. But why if you don't need to? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. He's saying when you need to. That's his thing. He's not saying live in the dark place. He's saying, okay, you set out to run 10 miles, example, right?
Yeah.
I said today, for example, I'm going to run 10 miles. I didn't run today. This is an example.
Yeah, I got you.
So I said today, I'm going to run 10 miles. But at mile number 5, I wanted to stop. My brain was saying, hey, this is good enough. You've done 5 miles. It's been almost an hour. Man, go home and relax. Okay, well, now if I go into that dark place and it works for me, and I'm able to complete the next 5 miles because I thought about some fucked up shit, what's wrong with that? The fucked up shit already happened. And so if I use that to get me angry and to fuel me, who cares? I completed the task.
I dig it, but I still see that.
Now, should you be there 24/7? Should I end the run and still feel like, man, I'm ready to Sith lightning everybody. I'm ready to force choke everybody.
Right.
No, you can't live there forever. And he's not saying live there forever. He's saying when you need it, you use it. It's a tool.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one. I got a few of these.
Let's go. I'm loving this.
And here's your boy.
Yeah.
Like I always say, this message isn't for everybody.
Exactly.
Are so weak.
Oh, I'm weak.
Just
okay.
being in your very presence
Word.
can make a man go impotent.
Oh, damn. Just
I put a video up, 10-second video, and you all got so much to say about it. My balance is fucked up, this and that. Is this the message you really want to put out there, Goggins? Fuck yeah, that's the fucking message I want to put out there. That's what effort fucking looks like. Life ain't gonna always hand you some motherfucking nice cream pie. Stay hard.
all right.
All right. You found an angry Goggins video.
Oh man, I got these all set up, so you know. I'm where am I at? I'm sorry, brother. I got it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
This is great.
Yeah. Yo, man.
Hold on.
So once again, it's like I'm looking at it from a perspective of, like I said, the fitness industry for everybody in there. And so it's like, oh yeah, you weak.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Really? You like you said, hey.
But we don't have enough context. We don't know what the video before that was.
They're all shorts. They're all shorts. So, you know, if you want to, you know, find some, I'm absolutely, you know.
No, he said I put up a 10-second video and people got upset.
Right.
We don't know what the 10-second video was.
We don't. I'm only dealing with what he's saying, and kind of what you're saying was like, yo, I dig someone that says, look, this ain't for everybody. Okay? That I completely understand. Like, yo, I'm not trying, my message is not for all of y'all. It's for this set of cats who understand what I'm saying and they're going with it. They might be military cats, police cats, who knows, people who are just digging my message. That's who it's for. But to then just say, okay, if you're not part of my group, well, now you're weak. Whoa, hold on. Wait a second. Where'd that fucking come from? You know what I'm saying? And you're so weak that's by seeing me or being around me makes you impotent. Damn. So now I'm not even a dude. I'm not even a dude if I'm not part of your stay hard group. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, that's a big jump. You know what I mean? That's a big jump from just being like, yo, I put this message out. A lot of y'all didn't get it. It wasn't for all of y'all. It was for my people who understand me. But if you didn't get it, you're a weak motherfucker. Son, come on now. That's toxic shit. As far as
that one was a little extreme. That one was a little extreme. I got you.
You know what I mean? All right. I got more. I got plenty more.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I think the first part of that video was what was important.
Yeah.
I think he, like you said, he clarified this ain't for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to go hard every day.
Yep.
I don't do rest. This is every day. Like, I'm pushing myself every day.
Son, and like you said before, we've been there, right? I mean, we were doing crazy in the beginning and we loved it. But we knew
we loved it.
This ain't for people. When people be like, yo, what y'all doing? We be like, okay, look, hold on. You know what I'm saying? We doing something.
And still say that.
Right. But if you and I get together and we just be like, yo, son, let's wild out. We will let other people know, look, y'all, when we get to like, you know, whenever you get tired or whatever, just get off. Don't hang out with us because we're going to do our shit, right? If we realize, yo, we on some Sith Academy shit, this is not for everybody, and that's fine. You know what I mean? We're going to use some dark energy. There's going to be some lightning. Just go away.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not for y'all. I would never tell everyone this is for you. But I'm also going to be like, the reason why you can't do it is because you're weak. No, that's not the reason. You know what I'm saying?
That part was a little extreme, yes.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's not the
But
reason.
I don't think he means weak physically. And I say that because I follow a lot of his stuff. He's talking about a weak mentality.
Yeah.
He's talking about people who put the stamp of I can't on themselves. That's a weak mentality.
All right.
Let
me know if you got to go, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's hit this.
Now, I got all night, brother. I could do this all night. I have no work tonight.
Oh.
It was great that we chose to do this when I'm off.
Let's see this one. I don't know if I've even seen this one yet, but yeah, it just happened the way it's supposed to happen. Oh yeah. I wanted to see this one. Yeah. All right, play it.
What the fuck are you waiting on? We sleep 1/3 of our fucking lives, and we think we can take fucking days off.
That was a nice short one. And you think you take fucking days off.
And you taking days off.
You taking days off. The fuck is wrong with you? So, yes, we do sleep 1/3 of our lives. And because we sleep 1/3 of our lives, that means you shouldn't take a day off.
What he means is you get enough rest. And so now let's have a real conversation. This one is, I've been waiting for this to come up. So before I ever knew of Goggins, I was a fan of someone else just as much. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kobe Bryant had this thing that everyone loved and coined and, you know, found out about and shared, and it went viral, and he kept running with it, right? And what is that? That is Mamba mentality.
Black Mamba.
Black Mamba was his nickname, and this drive to constantly be better is what he calls Mamba mentality. And so Mamba mentality basically means you are constantly striving to improve yourself every day, all the time, no days off. That's what Goggins is saying. That's what Goggins does. That's what Goggins is talking about. The difference is his messaging, which we'll get back to in a moment. But no days off, right? Why? Kobe Bryant also believed in no days off. Kobe Bryant, in fact, believed in doing things a very unorthodox way. Kobe Bryant has done many interviews where he spoke about his workout routine. People constantly ask him, well, what's a regular day look like for you? How do you work out? And so Kobe Bryant will work out sometimes 4 times a day and still have a basketball game. Now, can a person with a 9-to-5 do this? No. But that's not what we're talking about right now. So let's just focus on this. So what will Kobe Bryant do? Kobe Bryant will wake up at 4 a.m., do some kind of workout, come back home, have breakfast. 3-4 hours later, he would go back out and do another workout. Come home, have lunch. 3-4 hours later, he would go back out. Kobe Bryant was working out basically with 4-hour gaps in between. He felt 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours was enough time for my body to rest and for me to go do another kind of workout. That's what he was doing. That's what he believed. And he was doing this every day when he was an NBA player. He had to, in his mind, be as best as he can and push himself as much as possible to be the best that he can. And that's what Goggins is doing. And that's what Goggins is saying. So he's saying, well, I'm trying to be the best version of me I can be. And it's interesting to me that so many people are against Goggins, not speaking about you, I'm saying in general now, are against Goggins because so many people say, well, I'm trying to be the best me I can be. Oh, yeah, be the best version of you. Girl, this year, I'm trying to be the best version of me. Well, that's what Goggins is saying. He's saying, I'm trying to be the best version of me. You should try to be the best version of you. Same thing Kobe was saying. Kobe said the same thing. He said, people want to beat me. You're not going to beat me if you're not working hard. Because I'm studying you, I'm studying your team, and I'm working out 3-4 times a day. If you don't have that kind of drive, you're not competing with me. That's what Kobe was saying. He just said it much nicer. Kobe had a great PR team. Kobe understand the way media worked. He's saying the same things, though. Mamba mentality and Goggins mentality are the same. It's just 2 different types of people delivering the message.
That's fine. Only thing I'm saying, the difference I see is Kobe is internalizing it. He's saying, this is my thing. Goggins is both internalizing it and externalizing. Basically, it's like your problem is you're getting in the way of you. And
yes,
if you don't do it the way I'm freaking it, then you're fucking up. If you taking a day off, fuck that shit. It's like, yo, everybody's not built like you. Some people need a day off. In fact, in the fitness science, everyone believes, I know I do, it's good to take a day off. Relax for a second. Chill for a minute. Balance. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, Kobe or whoever feels like, yo, I'm going to work out 4 times a day. I'm going to do different types of workouts. I got to get up at 4 in the morning. Yo, if that's what you feel like you need to do, rock yourself out for yourself. However, to project that onto the world and be like, yo, what you need to do is copy and paste my shit, as far as I'm concerned, I think that is an error. And
but he's not saying copy and paste my shit.
Okay, but that's what I mean. That's what the way,
What
that's
he's
the way it's
saying
coming out.
is,
Like I said, these are. I understand. I'm taking things maybe out of context because I have these little snips.
no, I think this is a great example, and that's why I said I'm loving this, because exactly what you're watching, exactly what you're putting on the screen, exactly what you found, that's how a lot of people are finding out about Goggins, from a YouTube short, a clip that someone's reacting to. There's not a lot of context. Unless you watch the long-ass Joe Rogan interview, the long-ass Rich Roll interview. Like, these 2 and 3 hour podcasts he's doing, that's where you get the real nooks and crannies. In a 10-second short, in a 1-minute short video, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram reel, it's hard to get all of the context. He's saying that everyone should be pushing themselves every day. And he even has said in recent interviews, that's not just fitness. If you want to learn how to build computers, you know what you should be trying to learn every day? Building computers. You can't take a day off if you're trying to really learn the shit.
Of course.
If you're saying, hey, I'm trying to get better at building computers, well, then every day you should be learning about building computers.
Of course you could take a day if you build a computer. If you're building computers and you realize, you know what, I'm getting some burnout. I mean, you're a creator. You've been a creator for a long time. I'm sure, you know, when you're writing and you're flowing, maybe sometimes, you know what, you don't, it's not flowing. You're not getting it right now. You stop. You go do something else, whatever it is. Then you get inspired. And you're like, yo, let me get back to that. Yo, I was just thinking of some shit when I was on the treadmill. Yo, I'm about to kill it. Sometimes you need to take a break from something and then go win. Because what I know is if you just keep growing and going and going, the product that you come with, the thing that you're trying to learn, you'll actually create bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You'll actually like, yo, this sounds like you was tired, son. You know what I mean? Like you ever, and I know, you know, like you, like in terms of like songwriters, rappers, whatever. Yo, I was in the studio all day I was tired when I made this, and they put it out anyway. And be like, yo, son, it sounded like you was tired. Maybe you should take a break. You know what I'm saying? You needed like a few hours rest and then get back to the studio because that shit sounds.
But that's what.
Like
but that was exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, finish. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, like. So this sense of like, don't take any breaks. Just keep going, keep going. It's like, that's not even the way the human body works. The human body, or any like really living organism, but let's talk about human body right now. It's like, you have to like chill for a second, rest up, let the brain get some oxygen, whatever, and then attack that shit again, fresh. Now you killing the bitch. You know what I'm saying? On some fresh body shit. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. And so, wait, are you finished? I don't want to cut you off.
I'm done.
Okay. But that's exactly it, right? If you said today, hey, let's go to your studio example. I got in the studio after this podcast. I was working on some music, and I'm like, man, I'm burned out. I got no more. That's it. You're done. Today's done. You pushed to your limit, and you're done for today. Guess what? Which you just said, get some rest, come back tomorrow. That's all he's saying. It's not saying kill yourself. It's saying push yourself to that limit. Once you've hit your limit, okay, hit the showers, baby. Go relax. Come back tomorrow, though. He's saying the problem is people don't want to come back tomorrow. You got to keep coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you may not have to come back tomorrow. You might come back the day after that. Who knows? Come back when you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Come back when you're ready.
But at one point, I remember when you first moved to where you live now, right? You was like, son, it took me a minute to find a gym I like. I found a gym I like. I'm going in on cardio every day.
Yep.
You said, I'm going to take a break from the weights, but I'm hitting cardio every day. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't think anything of it. I just like, yeah, whatever. He means 5 days a week. And then I spoke to you. And months later, I was like, hey, man, you're looking great. How's things going? Like, you know, what's your breaks looking like? You said, there's no breaks. I've been doing cardio every day for like 6 months now. So what's wrong with that?
But did I say, Jonathan, this is what you need to do, right? I went into myself. I never said, And I never told anybody this is what you need to do. I looked at me. So on some Mamba shit, yes, I made it internal for me. But I never said everyone has to do it this way. And I knew for me, it was temporary. It's like, this is not something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm trying to get to this point and I'm trying to get there faster. So I'm going to get the body fat down. I just want to hurry up and get there. And I did. Then I was like, yo, all right, I've lost a ton of fucking weight. Chill. Let me focus on some muscle or whatever. But that's me. And I'm all about a person looking into themselves and saying, you know what? And this is why I say a lot of Goggins stuff I do agree with. Saying, hey, you know what? I think I can go a little bit harder. You know, I feel like I could do a little bit more. And doing that for yourself. I just disagree with, you know, someone turning, you know, to the person next to them on a treadmill. Yeah, you're a fat piece of shit because you're not going as hard as I'm going. And look at you. You're not even doing the same speed as me. Like, yeah, what did you quit? You only did 30 minutes? You know, weakling. You know what I mean? Like, nah, like, son, what are you doing? Like, this whole thing is about you. It's not about projecting out to other people. You know what I'm saying? And putting them down because they're not doing your style. Like, nah.
I think that you're right. And I think a lot of that was from the earlier stuff where now he's kind of refining his message, you know. And I think that's part of why, because these extremes were taken kind of out of context, and with these sound bites, he's saying, yeah, whatever that limit is for you. Again, he's saying, no, you should not go run 205 miles. Right. I don't even run 205 miles anymore. What you should be doing, though, is pushing yourself every day in whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. And see, and I'm definitely with that. And you're right. Like, you know, people are getting it probably the way I'm getting it. Or, you know, like, hey, I'm just passing through videos. I'm going through Instagram. I'm going through whatever. Mm-hmm. And, oh, here's a little 10 seconds. And it's like, yo, son, that was some hardcore shit to say. I'm going to move on. I'm probably not going to take the time to listen to his Rich Road podcast, especially if it's turning me off. Because, like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I would hope that in the future, he gets some more videos that will refine that. And we both know, like, Venom does way better in terms of, you know, likes or views than...
Yeah, he said that in some of his recent stuff. He said, I know that the stuff that goes viral is because it's salacious.
Right.
He said that word. He said, I know the salacious stuff is what goes viral. Right. I know. Right. So I want to put out more stuff that explains what that means.
Right. So yeah, he needs some time to definitely sort of rebrand what he's saying, because he's saying it so hardcore. All right, I got a lot more if you're interested, but we don't have to show up if you don't want to.
Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go with this, because this is more toxic shit that I'm just like, son, you must be crazy. All right, here we go.
Tell yourself the truth. If someone calls you fucking fat, they may be bullying you, but you might be fucking fat. Someone calls you dumb, it's mean, but you might be fucking dumb. It's life, man. Take it for what it's worth and change.
And that terrible feeling when someone does tell you that you're fat, you can use that as fuel.
As fuel. Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
this is one of his more recent ones.
So, that's good. That's good. This is one of his recent ones. That's shitty.
Yep.
That's a shitty perspective. So you're basically, let's break it down. So you're basically saying other people define you, right? If someone
he's saying don't front on yourself.
Hold on for a second. He's basically saying, well, if people call you fat, well, you might just be fat. If people call you dumb, well, you just might be dumb. So, you know, take it in, assess yourself based on what the fuck they just said, and then use that to change it. But wait a minute, you may not be fat. Fuck what they said. You may not be dumb. Fuck what they said. You know, I work with kids every fucking day. And that's a big part of me trying to get them to the next level, is what somebody else told them. You know, I don't do anything right, Sensei. Who told you that shit? I got to spend a lot of time reprogramming people. I don't know how to do nothing right. Yes, you do. I can't read. Yes, you can. Stop with that shit. Because so many people have put so much negative shit inside of them. It's so hard for me to try to pull all this negative shit out that they just been programmed with. And that, to me, is part of the fucking problem. Is people calling you something and you internalizing and believing it, rather than being like, fuck you. You know? I've had people call me fat. And I'm just like, word? Okay. Whatever. I don't feel myself as being fat. Also, just add on a little bit, we all have to deal with our own, a lot of times, self-esteem issues. A lot of times you're calling yourself fucking fat. A lot of times you're calling yourself dumb. And now you're going to hear somebody being like, yep, that voice in your head that's telling you you're fat and dumb. You are fat and dumb. Like, wow. You know, so in terms of your impact to the industry, remember, that's the only thing I'm arguing on, is how is that impacting the fitness industry, the normal cat out there. I think that's toxic, brother. I think that's toxic to say, yeah, people might be calling you fat because you are, or people might be calling you dumb because you are, and yeah, go with it. I don't agree with that on almost any level. Maybe you can enlighten me.
Yeah, he's saying don't front on yourself, which we say here. Whoops, I almost knocked over my water. So yeah, he's saying what you said, assess, right? If you listen, when I was 350, I knew I was fat. But I was fronting on myself. Nah, listen, it's the baggy clothes era. It's good. No, it's not good. It's not good. I was fat. And so yeah, people said hurtful things, and like you said, that's fucked up. They're being mean, absolutely. But perhaps it's time to look in the mirror and assess yourself. I don't disagree. I think, yeah, we should be assessing constantly. We've said that here on this podcast before. Is the delivery from the bully mean? Absolutely. Is the bully justified in what they're doing? No, absolutely not. But maybe they're saying some true shit. Maybe you are overweight. Maybe you are not the smartest person. And so maybe you should work on those things. Should it be that what this external person is saying defines your life? No. But are you? Ask yourself, hey, listen, like, I'm not good at math. Am I an idiot? No, but I know that's a weakness of mine. And so if I decide tomorrow, hey, I want to be a college professor, well, then I know I got to work on math because I'm not good at math. I struggle with math. And so that's okay. Now it's time to work on it. That's what he's saying. Listen, the bully called you fat. The bully called you dumb. That stuff is fucked up. It's not nice the way they said it. But ask yourself some questions now. Hey, why is this person saying this about me?
Yeah. And that brings us to a dark place. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, those words are powerful. You know what I'm saying? To call somebody fat, okay, the person could be fat, you know? And I agree. If you're fat, you're fat. And we don't have to, I've said it on this podcast many times, you know what I'm saying? Why are we using other words? Fat, you're fat. Okay, cool. But to justify bullying, because that's really what it sounds like he's doing. To justify bullying, I think it's absolutely wrong. For a person to look into themselves and say, you know what, I need to lose some weight. You know, this is I'm fatter than I want to be, right? Because we also just said, hey, you get your body to a place that you want. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that might be. I don't know what it is. I can't look at you and be like, Jay, you need to do this or that. That might be exactly what you want. Yeah, you know, you can't look at my body and be like, Dre, you should do blah, blah, blah. That might be where I want. So who the fuck is this bully or whoever to tell you you're fat? You know, no, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay them any fucking mind. Now look at yourself and say to yourself, if this is what you want, enjoy. Have a great time. But if it's not, tell them to shut the fuck up and mind their fucking business. And as far as being dumb, I completely disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, the whole thing with math, someone might say to you, if you're 6 years old, 8 years old, 13, and you're realizing you struggle with math. Oh, you struggle with math? Yeah, you struggle with math because you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? 18, 21, 35, who knows? You struggle, yeah, if you struggle with math, it's because you're stupid. That's why. Damn. If you have a problem with reading, it's because you're stupid. You're dumb. So internalize my words and make my words your reality. That, to me, is not helpful language. That doesn't help the person with anything with change. But what he's saying is like, oh yeah, take that hurtful shit that they're saying and ball it up and use it as fuel. That's nice if you have the capacity to do that. But why even do that? I don't like negative reinforcement. I don't think it works. I know a lot of people in the military do. That's their shit. I've said on this podcast many times, I don't like boot camps. I don't do boot camps. I'm not about yelling and screaming at people because that's where he comes from. That's that military background. You piece of shit. You ain't nothing. Give me another one. Get over that obstacle. You fucking blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, yo, whoa. Now, for so many people, they like that. They thrive off that shit. Yeah, call me another motherfucker. Yeah, I love it. Me, I don't like that shit. Don't fucking yell at me. This is why I never went to the military, because I won't make it. Like, you yell at me, I'm gonna yell back at you. Fuck it, let's just go a few rounds, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'll be thrown the fuck out because you're supposed to allow people to abuse you in that environment. And what am I saying is, don't allow people to abuse you. Don't put yourself in toxic environments so that they say, oh yeah, I did that so that you could change, right? Someone's parents would do this all the time. Yeah, I did all that toxic shit to you in your life so that you can end up, you know, as you were. And it's like, no, that shit was hurtful. Mom, dad, uncle, whoever. No, I no. And I won't be raising my kids around, and I don't want you to be around my family because I still think you're a toxic motherfucker. And a lot of people embrace that shit. Yeah, you got it with the tough love. We've had this podcast before. If y'all back, we talked about it, audience. The whole tough love bullshit. I don't believe in it. And I think this is where this is coming from. And for the large part, this is why I disagree with a lot of not that I agree a lot of the things that he's saying, the way the message comes out. Because honestly, like I said, I agree with a lot of things he is saying, but the way the message is coming out, nah. And put it like this, and this is my thing I would say to you, Jay, is would you want someone telling your daughter you're fat and dumb? Oh, well, no, but Jay, I only said that so that she can change. You're helping your daughter with whatever the things that she's you know, trying to get better with. Have you ever used those words to her? Have you ever called her any? And no. You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare, right? Because you realize that shit is toxic. So if you don't want somebody talking to your daughter that way, why should anyone talk to anybody that way? I give it back to you.
Okay, great. So I don't do it with my daughter because she's a child. Mm-hmm. If my daughter was an adult, I would say, hey, you're fat. The same way I tell my friends, you're fat. I'm going to tell her the same things if she's an adult. Now, this podcast is not for kids. No. And the fitness industry largely is not for kids. And so I'm being real. If my daughter was 22, 23, 25, 30 years old, I say, hey, kid, you're getting fat. It's time for us to work together to change it. That's it. And so, yeah, I think that that's important to keep it real with your people in your circle and with yourself. And so I know I'm overweight. And so if someone says to me, hey, you're fat, am I going to go home and cry because they call me fat? No, I've built myself to a place where that's not going to happen. Are there people who internalize that and take it very hurtful? Absolutely. And bullying is bad. I think we all know that. I think the point is, don't front on yourself. Keep it real. If you're looking down at your stomach and you can't see your private parts, there's probably a reason why.
Well, maybe you just have a micro penis.
See, I didn't say it was a man.
I know, but I just wanted to put No, but
my point is, most of the people who are starting out which is the people you said this conversation is for, most of the people starting out in fitness, there's a reason why. You know that you're either not eating the healthiest, you're not the most active, you have a weight problem, you may even have a medical condition, right? And all of that is okay. You're starting, and that's fine, but you're starting why? Because you know there's an issue that you're trying to resolve. And so just keep it real with yourself. That's the messaging here. Keep it real with yourself. Absolutely, bullying is bad. Absolutely, bullying is mean. No, you should not allow bullies to dictate your life. But keep it real with yourself.
Yeah.
If I can't pass, if I try to get into college right now and they give me a test and say, sorry, you failed the test, you have to take remedial classes. Well, then you ain't the best at that subject. And so if you want to improve, you should start working to improve. But keep it real with yourself. You can't walk around and say, hey, I'm a mathematician, but you don't know algebra or fractions. Nigga, you're not a mathematician.
Right. But that doesn't mean you're dumb, right? So, I mean, I know plenty of people.
No, it doesn't mean you're dumb.
I know plenty of people who didn't go to school, was in school, dropped out, didn't go to college, and became great successes. So the ability to not, read Shakespeare and write a 700-word, thesis on butterfly wings or whatever doesn't necessarily mean you're stupid. And we also know that there's something called street knowledge. You know what I mean? You get the smartest person in the world, quote unquote, and you put them in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Well, maybe not Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's been so gentrified right now. But whatever, East New York, any hood or whatever, and be like, okay, let me see you survive. They'd be like, oh my God, why they can't navigate those streets the way you can, the way I can, because we have something called street knowledge, and that's worth something. So just because you don't have their knowledge and they don't have our knowledge doesn't mean that anybody's dumb. It just means that hey, you're an expert in what you're expert in, and that's my biggest thing. Because I know I don't know everything, but what I know, I know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can have a conversation about fitness, martial arts, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the things I don't know, I don't pretend to like I don't know. That doesn't mean I'm dumb. It means, hey, I don't know that thing. So I don't mind the word ignorant in terms of I'm ignorant on that thing. Hey, Dre, what's the mating habits of the sea turtle? I'm ignorant on that. I couldn't tell you what that is, but can you tell me all the martial arts coming out of Asia? Absolutely. All day I can write a thesis paper on it. So,
right.
This thing that, what is why would you even call anybody dumb? Forget about them being a kid. Why would you even call somebody dumb? That to me is dumb. You don't know what they know. They don't know what you know. So that because they don't know what you know, that makes them dumb. Nah, man, I disagree with that. Nah. And I would tell anybody, don't let somebody call you dumb. Don't ever internalize that, man. Like, fuck them. You know what you know, and what you don't know, you don't know. That's it.
I agree with that part.
All right. Man, we're working our way down. All right. Here's
Drake came with a fully loaded clip today.
Oh, fully loaded, bro. I got all kinds of shit, son. I was ready. For this conversation. Let's see. I hope I didn't.
And for the audience,
yes,
I didn't see any of the shit he's sharing. This is new to me. I'm responding as I go.
Yeah, baby.
Comments to say, this is terrible advice. Rest and recovery is the most important thing.
God. Block. Delete. You ain't on my shit, son. You're not gonna last. Not on my side. I want to hear that shit.
All right, that's it. That's the whole rest recovery thing that he doesn't agree with. Yeah.
Yeah, so that video is like you can see from the Joe Rogan podcast. If I remember correctly, that was his second time up there. He's been up there 3 times. And Joe Rogan was asking him, what do you say to people who put these type of things in your comments on Instagram or whatever? And so that was his response. So it's not there, but he expounded and said the reason he deletes those comments and blocks those people, which I think is extreme, is because he only wants to keep things that are positive and that help push the community of people who are following him. And so the people who have negative things to say, he gets them out. I think that's extreme, but I'll be honest, it's also something a lot of people do. There are celebrities who do the same shit all the time. I won't mention names, but there's tons of people who do that. They only want to see positive things in their comments. Also, because today there's a society, not society, there's a group of people, a culture of reading the comments. I know lots of people who don't even give a fuck about the posts that people pull up. They follow certain accounts because they want to see the wild shit going on in the comments.
It's wild shit happening in the comments.
And so he knows that, I think, and he only wants to leave positive stuff there because he's trying to kind of build a community of people who are helping each other and pushing each other. And so if you say some shit that doesn't align, well, then it can go. Again, I don't agree with that part, but I'm explaining what the video was because, again, this is a short clip.
So it's really no response to that because I just wanted to hear your response. And so you already said you don't agree with it. So it's nothing to really I will go back and forth with that.
Yeah, I think that public discourse is supposed to be public discourse, right? If you put up a video online, anybody, this podcast goes out. It doesn't always get the best comments. We make YouTube shorts out of stuff and, Reels and TikToks. They don't always get the best comments, but I don't delete them because to me, that's part of it. Part of doing this, to me, any public forum is a public forum, right? Unless you're paying for a private server and saying, hey, me and Dre paid for blah, blah, blah.com, and this is our private site, well, then there we can delete whatever the fuck we want because this is our private place, invite only, whatever. But in a public place, the social media platforms, it's public. And so if you're going to put public stuff up, you got to be ready for all that comes with it.
I completely agree. The only exception I make is if you get at somebody personally, calling people maybe N-words or things that have nothing to do with what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? So if I say, hey, it's good to have a rest day, and someone be like, no, it's not good to have a rest day, and they say their opinion, I say my opinion, oh yeah, definitely leave that because it's just, like you said, that's public discourse. That's what this is supposed to be about. People with different opinions saying why they have a different opinion. The only thing I'm about deleting, if you say a disparaging comment that has nothing to do with anything, you start you start calling people names and all that. That's not but no one's talking about that. You were F, you or whatever. Nah, I'm not about that. But I definitely agree with you. I am about, hey, you have a different perspective. Maybe you can teach me something. Maybe you got something that I didn't know. Everybody's watching it. So I agree with you on that. And so the fact that he did that and he doesn't want people to on this thing about rest days. I mean, it's just rest days, man. What's the big deal? But for him, that is off the brand, I guess. You know what I mean? No, we don't do rest days around here. I don't want nobody talking about rest days. Delete and block. All right. That's who you are.
I mean, it's his account.
Right.
What can I say?
You do what you want to do. Like you said, other people do it. Doesn't mean that it's cool, but it's a thing where people are like, nope, you said something I don't like, so you got to go. All right. Here's another one. I maybe got 3 more. And
no
this might be proving what you said, but I still think it's interesting.
Okay.
So I'm driving from Las Vegas to San Diego, and the traffic got real bad. So got bumper to bumper. No one's moving and shit. So I'm doing 2-a-day runs right now. Run in the morning, run in the afternoon. So I plan on getting to San Diego, getting my run in. So instead of getting all poopy pants and feeling sorry for yourself and getting all frustrated because life has come at me.
Poopy pants.
I decided to pull over because no one's moving anyway and utilize this time to get my miles in. I'm not saying do this.
Okay.
I'm not saying do this, but this is what I'm going to do right now. So utilize your time wisely.
Now that one, I can kind of, in part, kind of co-sign. Just because he said, I'm not saying do this, which is what you were trying to say this whole fucking time. So That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to be a little bit balanced here, right? Where it's like that. I really don't have so much of a problem with. I mean, the whole poopy pants thing. It just speaks of like the high school football captain bullshit. You know, the machismo. You know, and I hate using this fucking term, but the whole like male toxicity garbage. You know what I mean? It's just like people don't have to be poopy pants because they're not going to do the thing that you did. But to say, okay, hey, I'm doing this doesn't mean that you need to do this. But rather than be sitting in traffic all day, I'd rather just pull over and just get my run. Okay, I dig it. You know, poopy pants, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the way you like to say it.
Well, he's saying an old school term, just like they used to say, don't get your panties in a knot.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
All right, so that's all he's saying. He's saying, listen, instead of getting my panties in a knot, I'm going to utilize my time wisely.
Yeah. You know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Like I said, I was trying to be, you know, somewhat fair here because I did like that one. You know what I mean? Rather than just being all like that. But I did, and that's what I'm saying. The fact that it's the same thing. It's a short video. It's not a lot, but he was very like, yo, I'm doing this. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm doing this. This is part of my time management. And then now the way I internalized that was like, okay, maybe I can find some ways to manage my time better. That's the way it came off in that same short time, right? I don't know the context. I don't know the video before it, but in that short time that he had my attention, from that one, I could be like, oh, okay, I can co-sign that. I wouldn't pull off in the middle of the highway and just start running, you know, like my safety is like more important to me. Fuck that shit. I don't know what the fuck is out there. You know, that shit look like some old desert type shit. Like, what the fuck? Nah, I'm good, you know?
Right.
But I feel him in terms of like knowing me, the type of dude I'm at. I'll be like, yo, hold on. I bet there's a Planet Fitness somewhere over here. I'm going to just get off at the next exit, hang out at, rather than going to Planet Fitness I was planning to go to, which is now an hour away because of traffic. I'll go to this one and I'll rock out here. You know what I'm saying? But it's sort of the same thing, right? It's like, well, use your time wisely. Plan A didn't happen. Go to Plan B. So, you know, I dig that.
There you go.
In a sense.
All right, then we can move on to the next one.
All right. See, I gave him a piece of credit. Gave him a piece. All right. Yeah, let's go with this toxic shit. I'm sure you've seen this before.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
You want to try a cookie? You want to try from... Stop.
You're fat as
Yeah. Being fat's fun.
Your mind is full of shit. That's not okay. Not okay. Not acceptable.
I don't want to be doing work.
You roll your fat ass out of bed and all you want is some damn cinnamon buns and shit.
Yeah, I love that.
Man, you are a piece of shit.
Damn.
What kind of pussy you are, man.
I don't want to work that hard.
You're not a man.
Wow.
You're no fucking man, dude. Like,
I'm sorry, I can't.
you're a fat, sloppy motherfucker.
Oh, really, sir?
You're in the fucking dungeon. You have a good chance of being
Oh, my God. You want a fat guy? What a fucking nerd. I'm your pig.
You're a nasty motherfucker.
He's a nasty motherfucker.
Oh.
I'm about to drop your fucking ass.
Oh, Jay. I'll let you comment first on this one.
I think the bigger guy was trolling.
Okay.
That's what I think. To offer David Goggins cookies, I'm pretty sure he was trying to get a reaction out of Goggins and got a reaction. And that's probably what pissed Goggins off more. That like, yo, you trying to fuck with me? Okay.
Okay. So now I'm gonna make it more personal to you. All right. You've done, you know, you're into fitness too, you know, even right, you know, you fast, things like that. You've done long fast before. If you're fasting, right, and someone's like, yo, Jay, and they know you're fasting, like you've said it. And they're like, yo, Jay, you want a cookie? How would you respond?
I'd say no. And I probably wouldn't say half of that other shit, but I'd say no.
That's all it is. That's my point with that whole thing.
Yeah, but there's more context. The cameras are on, one. Two, you know what the fuck I'm up here doing this interview for. And three, yo, I know you fucking with me. So if you fucking with me, now maybe I gotta fuck with you back.
Yes, but the way you would fuck with him is calm energy. You just be like, no. Not.
But nothing about Goggins
this is
calm.
what I'm saying. It's like, yo, you went full steam ahead, just disparaging this dude. Like, I'm a just like knock this cat off the fuck. Like, all that other shit was like, whoa, son. He offered you up to.
Yeah, sure, it was
like,
unnecessary.
Yo, go ahead.
But so was Homeboy. That's what I'm saying. Look at Homeboy. They both were doing it to each other. Look at the dude's response. He's like, but I like being fat. No, I don't want to work hard. He knows. He's trolling.
Right. But once again, I'm talking about now. I'm still getting to the whole like toxicity shit where it's just like, yo, son. Okay, I get it. He is trolling you. Right. He does want a response. Right. And you went nuclear fucking missile on some shit that just could have been like, Stone, I'm done with you. Make it out of here. You went full nuclear missile on them. You know what I mean? Like, yo.
He did.
Fucking him and all this other. Whoa, son. Like, I'm watching this being like, okay, that's a little much. That's a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
but this is often what happens when people get trolled. If you look at any celeb getting trolled on the internet, how do they respond?
A lot of them respond like you. Just no, thank you. I'm good. Because they're secure adults, secure in who they are. So it's impossible for you to troll me because I know who I am. So I'm not going to play a game with it.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that. I see lots of celebrities online get trolled and lose their fucking minds. They don't say no thank you. They flip out. In fact, recently, Chris Brown was being trolled by another celeb. I mean, she's a lower level celeb. It's a woman who used to be part of 3LW. We spoke about it on Let's Have a Real Conversation. She was trolling him, and he lost his fucking mind. He insulted her. He insulted her music career, her business, her lisp, mad shit. It wasn't okay that he did it either. But Chris Brown is a way bigger celebrity than David Goggins, with way more money and way more followers, and he fucking lost his mind.
Yeah.
That was just the other day. That was like a week or two ago.
That's shitty for him to do it. It's shitty for Goggins to do it. It's an immature response from a grown-ass man. And for someone who has this hierarchy of man sort of persona, you know, to me, you went right into junior high school shit. That's something that I would be telling my kids to chill. You know what I'm saying? But I would expect it that when this person said this, well, he said this about me, so I'm gonna say this about him. Well, he said this about me. Like, okay, those are kids. I gotta navigate that. These are adults, yo, and you would expect that. All right, bro. Like, you say you're the bigger man. You're the alpha man. Then be the bigger man. Be the alpha man. The alpha man could just simply say, "Nah, that's all right, bro." In fact, if it was me or people who think like me, and I would even say you, because I know you so well, I would have been like, yo, but do you really want that cookie? Honestly, like, how do you feel about yourself? Because it seems to me you're probably not satisfied with who you are, you know, and let me bring you over to let me help you, you know, become a better person. I think you would do that as well, because this whole thing with the fitness thing is to help as many people as possible. I consider myself part of the fitness industry, and because of that, I'm trying to help people. We put this out there to do what? Try to help people. So when someone is like, oh man, I love being fat, it's the greatest thing ever, and we can look at them and be like, yeah, they're really lying to themselves. I don't need to put you down, because that's only going to keep you away. If I'm trying to help you, I'm going to embrace you and be like, yo, you know what? That's okay. But when you're ready to get yourself together, come back to me. Maybe I can help you out. You know, yo, you should listen to my podcast, man. Like, we got some great advice on there. And you might think it's a lot of work, but honestly, it's not that. It's not that hard. Just a few little tweaks in your life, and I bet you're going to feel better in a month. That's a mature person talking. You know what I'm saying? I could see you talking like that as well. But his Goggins, his energy to me seemed really toxic and was just like, whoa, it just went to a real dark place real quick. And that's why I'm saying that I think him in the industry just isn't helping. Not that kind of toxic male energy. I don't agree with it.
So,
yep.
Wait, are you finished? Okay. So clearly this is not a calm Goggins. Clearly this is somebody poking at him, right? And so it's challenging when someone is clearly intentionally poking you to stay calm and respond calmly. I think you're right. Yes, if somebody offered me a cookie while I was fasting, I probably would remain calm. But that's not all Son did. Now, if I said, no, I don't want a cookie, thank you, I'm fasting right now, and you kept offering me cookies, and you trying to shove a cookie in my face, now I might smack the cookie out your hand and curse you out because you're poking at me intentionally. And I think that is very different than just saying, hey, I'm about to bake some cookies. You want a cookie? Not the same. And so I think that, yeah, Goggins is clearly reacting poorly. He's clearly upset. And that's why I use the term trolling, because there's a difference between offering something or even saying, hey, I don't agree with what Dre is saying, right? Now, if Dre feels, hey, martial arts and fitness are the best way to get in shape and to better yourself. Now, if I know that's your belief and I'm purposely coming up here trying to fuck with you, you're not going to respond the same after a while. You're going to get pissed off if you know I'm fucking with you. There's a bit of a difference, right? Like if somebody just bumps you on the train, oh, okay, hey, you bumped me, it's all good. Now, if this person keeps on hitting you and hitting you, and you're probably going to drop right into martial arts dance and be like, yo, son, what the fuck you want to do? And I think that's what's happening here. I think this is not just an isolated incident and a question. I think this person is purposely trying to poke the bear, as they say. And so, yes, I agree Goggins reacted poorly, but I think there was a reason why, and I don't think we can neglect the reasoning behind it. Dude is clearly fucking with him.
All right. Well, so I want the people who are watching put their opinions on that one. All right. We got two more, and then we could stop this whole thing.
No problem.
Yeah, this is kind of fun though. Fuck it. All right. Here's your boy.
I got an email the other day. This guy's talking about he's struggling to get up. Wants to go to the gym and start grinding early in the morning. I said, when I was 24, I had the same condition, man. I had the same problem. So I started studying it. The more I studied it, I came with this crazy conclusion. I'm just being a bitch. It's a mindset. In English, it means weak, soft, feel sorry for yourself. Get your ass up and lace him up. Stay hard. So I gotta eat.
That's it.
Stop being a bitch. Hold on, let me read this email real quick. Okay. Yeah, I got a solution for you. Stop being a bitch. Done. Next question.
Yeah, I mean, I think he forgot the word lazy, but yeah. I mean,
really?
I mean,
I don't want anything. I don't want anything. I just feel like it just proves what I'm saying, where it's just like, here's someone coming to you. They're inspired by you, right? They're looking at you. They're like, wow, I don't have the same inspiration that you have. drive, right, to do this on a regular basis. It must be something I'm missing in me that can, or is there some words that you can help me to, get going, right? Now, as we said, he's the type of dude that goes off of negative energy. Negative energy fuels him. So, because he runs off of negative energy, he's going to give you negative energy. Well, you're a bitch. So take that, ball it up, and now go with it. I guess it works for those people who run off of negative energy. But me, people who think like me, I would venture to say most people are not inspired by negative energy, right? You get more bees with honey than with vinegar. So, this dude got this thing, and I don't know, whatever, but I just feel like, wow, that's a shitty response for someone that is emailing you trying to get some help. Stop being a bitch. Okay, thank you. Can you imagine? Like, I'm going through some real hard times, and I noticed you was going through some of the same hard times that I'm going through. Do you have any words of encouragement? Yeah, stop being a bitch. Damn. Wow, that's kind of fucked up in my book, but you can respond if you like.
On this podcast, all right, two things. One, on this podcast, we've said before, there are times when we know we're being lazy motherfuckers and we just need to stop being a lazy motherfucker. We've said plenty of times on this podcast, sometimes you got to get off your lazy fat ass and get going. I think this is the same thing. I think he forgot the word lazy. That's number one. Number two, everyone knows and loves the movie The Water Boy. Remember that movie with Adam Sandler, The Water Boy? Yeah. I don't remember the actor's name, but the Fonz, the guy who played the Fonz, I'm terrible with actors' names, but if you know the Fonz, you know the actor I'm talking about. He recruits him. He recruits Adam Sandler in the film, and he says, well, my mom doesn't want me to play football. And he puts him in college, and you have to be part of college to be part of the college team. And so he's mocked by many people. He's sad, he's upset. And the coach tells him one day, says, you should use all of that. Think of everyone who's ever made fun of you and use it. He's like, no, I don't like those thoughts. They make me mad. He says, yes, exactly. Use those thoughts as your fuel. Let's call it your tackling fuel. And throughout the movie, every time there's a big moment coming up, he has a flashback of somebody making fun of him. His peers, his favorite wrestler, other players, other teams, anybody, including the professor. And gets really mad, lets out this weird squeal, and then he tackles the shit out of the other people. Tackling fuel. I think it's really weird that people are against tackling fuel in real life when everyone loves the fucking movie. That's all really Goggins is saying. Tackling fuel. He says in this video, hey, I had the same problem when I was 24. And I started studying the problem. I realized I was being a bitch. That's his interpretation. I think he forgot the word lazy. He's being lazy. And he realized, I'm being lazy. And so, stop being lazy. I think that's all he forgot is the word lazy. Is the word bitch nice? No, it's not nice. It's not. But if you're crying because you don't want to get to the gym, I don't know if Goggins is the person you should be emailing anyway. You should probably be emailing a therapist. Because clearly there's a reason why you're crying. I don't want to go run sometimes. I don't want to go to the gym a lot of times, which is why I struggle with consistency. But I'm not crying. Even Goggins speaks about on all his interviews how sometimes he's staring at his running shoes for 30 minutes before he puts them on. But he puts them on. And that's the whole thing. It's like, hey, I'm lazy and I don't want to go out and work out. In fact, I'm crying when I think about the gym. Well, then you shouldn't be emailing Goggins. Because if you follow Goggins, he's going to say some hardcore shit. That's his style. That's his natural, authentic self. That's really all he knows how to be. He's not the best PR person. He's not the best celebrity. He's got a small following as opposed to what he could have if he dressed himself up and said nicer words. But he's not trying to do any of those things. He's just being his real, authentic self. And so You take your friends with a grain of salt. You take your following, your celebrity crush and everybody else with a grain of salt. I don't think this is any different. Nobody likes everything the Kardashians do, even their biggest fans. They even have moments where they're like, ooh, that was probably bad. I'm not a fan of the Kardashians. I'm just speaking about a really popular group of people, right? I'm a fan of Kanye West, but he's done some shit that I'm like, oof, Kanye, that was not good. Jay-Z, same thing. Everybody who we like, we can go through this, right? And so it's no different with Goggins. He's a human being. He don't always say the best shit, sure. But I think he's still right in what he's saying. He internalized. He gave an example of himself. Hey, dude, emailing, I feel you. I used to have the same problem. I was being a lazy motherfucker. Instead of saying lazy motherfucker, he said, I was being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. I think he just didn't expound enough.
So
I don't disagree with the message. I disagree with the delivery again. And I think that, yeah, he's not trying to be the perfect model citizen here. I think Goggins is his true, authentic self. And if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
I think he's right in this video. I think he just didn't I think he probably didn't choose the right word choice. He didn't have the right word choice, the right verbiage. But son, you're crying because you don't want to go to the gym? You have a problem. You have a problem. My thing is, whoever emailed him, that was your fuck up. Goggins' fuck up is not choosing the right words in this video. Sure. Your fuck up as the person emailing him is, why would you email Goggins if you're crying trying to get to the gym? You should be emailing a therapist. Clearly, this has a deeper, darker criminal link, as Jay-Z once said.
So I don't think he used the wrong words because, as you're saying, he's being his authentic self. That's who he is. In his mind, those are not the wrong words. In his mind, that's what the fuck I wanted to say, so I fucking said it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, sure, you're saying that. That's who the fuck you want to be. If you are somebody who, abuses motherfuckers, you abuse motherfuckers. That's who you are. There's no, okay, you know, that's the wrong way to do it. No, I abuse motherfuckers. That's my thing. So if you're going to be in my life, get ready to be fucking abused. That's what the whole toxic masculinity shit is motherfuckers who are in your sphere will be abused, and you just have to fucking go through it. Back up a little bit. So the actor, the Fonz, his name is Henry Winkler. And that was a comedy. Yes, we did all love it. It was a comedy. Nobody went home and was just like, no, that's the way to be. No, it was funny. That's the whole thing about it. It was, I love that movie. I love a lot of Anna Sandler's fly shit, They're comedies. I mean, Little Nicky is a comedy, he does crazy shit in that too. I mean, fine. But to take that and be like, well, this is the way it should be, I disagree. Now, the only thing I'll say is the same thing I've been saying all night. I think for him and the people who dig him, they just get off on negative reinforcement. And there are a few people who that's what they like. They don't want it gentle. They don't want somebody to sit there and explain it to them. I've had people tell me, you're soft. You're not a real sensei. Because I'm coming off trying to be understanding and I'm trying to help you out. And then, as you said, they'll keep poking and poking at me. And then I have to lay it down. They're like, oh, shit. I didn't know you had that in you. I thought you was just this soft cat. And it's like, no, just because I'm understanding, just because I'm trying to help you, that doesn't mean I'm weak. A lot of times people will take a meek person and think that they're a weak person. And oftentimes, if you come off being aggressive and toxic and calling and putting people down, they see that as strength. I'm neither here or there. If that's the way you want to be, that's the way you want to be. If people are receptive to you that way in your sphere, fine. I wouldn't tell him to dress it up or do whatever. I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, as a person in the fitness industry trying to help people, I feel that you do better off if you understand where people are, start where they are and help them move up, rather than just being like, you're a piece of shit for being down there. But hey, if it resonates with some people and that's what they need, some people that's why people go to boot camp, because that's what they want. I want that. I want people to yell at me and call me names, and that's the only way I can do it. I need somebody to wake me up early in the morning, have a bullhorn in my ear and say, "Get the fuck up, wake up, get up." That's the only way I can do it. That's if you're that type of person, well, you have people like Goggins who will make sure that they belittle you in every moment that they can to motivate you to keep going. That's your motivation. I mean, still toxic, you know what I'm saying? If you need it, you need it, but it's still like some medicines are toxic, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's what you need. So fucking take it, knock yourself the fuck out. But I'm certainly not digging that energy. And I definitely feel that it is a con for the fitness industry. But once again, those of you who are watching this, put your comments in there. This will be my last, unless you want to say something.
And then you could do your last clip. I think that it's more of the tough love side of things and less about putting people down.
Same thing.
I don't think he gets excited or gets off on putting people down. I think it's more of a tough love thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more like instead of, "Hey, Jay, you probably shouldn't be having this much ice cream." It's like, "Yo, Jay, why the fuck you eating so much ice cream? You know you're not going to get the results you want eating that ice cream." And so I think that's what it is. I think it's more of the tough love thing. And no, tough love does not resonate with everyone. This is true. But I don't think it's necessarily that he wants to put people down. I think it's quite the opposite. I think that he wants to put people in positions where they can better themselves. And I think he's doing that the way he knows how.
Okay. Yeah. But, the tough love shit, yeah. We've had a podcast about that. And y'all should go back and listen to that. We kind of did a deep dive on that whole tough love thing. All right, this will be my last one, and we can hang it up. And I thought this was probably like the funniest thing to me. Okay, just tell me how you feel about it. Here we go.
Today, my girl put a post up of my feet. Just some hard-working, nasty-ass, salty, fucked up feet. I'm not crazy, motherfuckers. I'm just not you. Stay hard. So yesterday, my girl.
All right. That was it. Jay, you still there? Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Love it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm here. I love it.
So I chose that one because it's like, it's the whole extreme personality thing. It's like, I don't give a fuck about fucking up my feet. Who gives a shit, right? Like, he completely is like, yes, those were my fucked up feet. They are crusty. They are fucked up because, if you're a long distance runner, ultra runner, as you say, you probably don't have the best feet, Now, that's fine, that's his style. Now, somebody like me, once again, I'm about balance. So it's like, I like running, I like my bike, all that good shit, but I also like nice feet. You know what I mean? Like, I go get my shit done.
Right.
I go to spas and shit, get my pedicure going. I want to have nice looking feet. So I have to have harmony. I realize that for me, it's like, I'm not trying to go ultra one way or ultra the other. And maybe people feel like that is a problem. But for me, my lifestyle, the way I like things, it's like, no, I want some cute ass feet. I might get somebody, get me a little lady that want to kiss on these joints for a second. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want to. Oh, those are pretty feet. I've had women tell me, "Oh man, your feet are nice." Oh, thank you. I take care of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I believe in balance. I'm trying to get harmony. I'm not saying he's wrong. That's why I just said I thought this was funny more than anything else. But it does speak to the this would be the wrong word, but the sort of like extreme mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, go all out at whatever expense. Your shoes might get fucked up, your feet might get fucked up, your knees might get fucked up, your balance might be off. That's not the point. The point is to go all out no matter what. And not necessarily my thing, but you can tell me how you feel about it.
So this is an older clip, one. Two, yeah, it is funny. And I like the self-awareness. I like that he's like, yeah, my shit is fucked up. So what? Like, I'm working hard. I don't got time to worry about feet. And three, something people don't know who don't follow Goggins is, so yeah, he withstood a lot of injuries. He's broken his feet. He had a heart condition and had to have several surgeries, but that has actually nothing to do with the stuff he did. It's just that, like, this is something he found out later in life. He had like a hole in his heart. And so he had to have two different surgeries to fill it because the first one, they didn't realize how deep it was. He also had knee surgery, a bunch of stuff. And so what he's learned later in life is that as much as you push yourself, you also have to take care of yourself. And so I don't know how long ago it started, because like I said, a lot of this I've been taking in not consecutively, back to back. I'm new. Like I said, I've been following Goggins like 6 months, maybe, not long. And so something like 6 to 9 months, I've been following him, consuming everything that I can find from him. And so in the earlier interviews and podcasts he was on, he doesn't say anything about recovery or stretching or any of that. Now that he's withstood all these injuries, he said he got to a point where his body just shut down. Like, he went from running 200 miles and training for these ultra marathons to like not being able to run a mile. And like the doctors checked him out and everything, and they're like, "You're fine. Like, we can't tell you what's wrong." And so he started getting into like yoga and stretching. And he said it took him a year to realize, well, rather, I'm saying this wrong. He realized he needed to make a change. And so it took him a year to get to the point where he not only was able to get back out there, but was stronger and better than ever. And so I can't play clips because I'm on my phone, but there's a clip where he speaks where this guy who's another quote unquote extreme guy, he trains with him, and that guy has been on Joe Rogan podcast. And that guy said they did all this crazy shit, right? They did a 35-mile run up, like going up hills and shit. They did strength training on the weights, and they did hundreds of sets, no exaggeration. They went and shot bows and stuff. And after that, they went home. They went back to the guy's house, not Goggins' house, the other guy's house. He says they had pizza and chocolate chip cookies and all this stuff. And then everybody's like, "Okay, it's been late, man. It's been a great day. You know." No, Goggins said, "Hey, you know, it's getting late. I'm gonna start heading out back to my hotel." And they're like, "No, why don't you keep chilling? You know, you could skip that stretching shit you do." And he got really offended and was like, "Skip my stretching? No, I never fucking do that." And so part of his routine is, no matter what he does during the day, for 2 hours he stretches and meditates. It's a combo. So he doesn't do like an hour, but he does 2 hours of what he calls deep, almost extreme stretching for 2 hours, and he clears his mind during that time of all things. So he doesn't sit and meditate like you see on TV and in the movies. He's not sitting there going, not that kind of thing. But he takes 2 hours no matter what and does these deep, intense stretches for 2 hours. And he said the reason he does that is because he realized he pushed his body to its breaking point, and his body told him, "Hey, listen, time to sit down, brother." And so for about a year, he couldn't do shit. And since then, he does this routine of stretching for 2 hours every night before bed, no matter what. And so I thought that was something that I should share here, because that does not go viral, but it is something that probably should go viral, because we have spoken here about the importance of stretching, and a lot of people don't realize. And he was saying, people speak about range of motion a lot. And he said he realized he never had full range of motion, until he started doing this deep, deep stretching. And so he said, the more limber he is, the more he stretches, the less tense his body is and his mind, and he's able to push himself further because of it.
Well, that is very refreshing to hear. I'm so glad that we're ending it like that. And basically, let me just say, he's doing it my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's keep it real. Like, I've been advocating stretching.
Yeah.
How long have you known me? You know what I'm saying? Have I ever said?
Yeah. I'm about to say,
you know what I'm saying? I've been advocating stretching. We've worked out with cats who just like, fuck that stretching part. And I'm like, no, it's part of the workout. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've been saying that for the
Absolutely.
longest time, and I still do it. And so it's really refreshing for us to end it on that. And I do hope that this new perspective that he has is coming out. And I'm glad you're being honest to be like, yo, his body completely shut down because the way he was doing was unsustainable. You can't do that, and you can't have the body constantly going without any rest. That's ridiculous. You're only a human being, meaning you're a finite creature. We're all finite creatures. None of us is infinite. None of us are gods. We're finite people. We need to incorporate rest. And just as you're planning your workout, your this, your that, you have to plan your rest. We've deep dived on this on past podcasts. If people are interested in it, just look back. I don't know what number, but they're labeled. You can check them out. But yeah, I'm so happy to hear you say that he was, that he assessed, basically. He assessed and realized, whoa, a lot of shit that I was doing, I can't do that no more. That's not sustainable. I have to bring in meditation and stretching and rest into my stuff. And the fact that he's like, oh, okay, I can have a cookie every now and then. I can have some of this every now and just enjoy your life because, coming from that military background, everything is so strict and stringent and everything is like this and it must be fit in. And you realize we're not robots. That's some robot shit. We're human beings. We need to enjoy all of life, So as much as I love fitness, yeah, as we said, I'll go and, have something off diet every now and then, why not? I might have a cheat meal, as we did a couple of podcasts ago. I'm not going to have a cheat day, but I'll have a cheat meal. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh, okay, a little snack or something. Just be like, oh, well, it was good. That's all I needed. So it's really happy. I'm really happy to have that, to end it on this where, this was a good little conversation. I wanted us to have this, sort of like different perspectives. I think it's very healthy Absolutely. For people to see things from different perspectives. I think most of the stuff we kind of agree on, but the fact that he changed his style means a lot to me because I knew that was unsustainable from the beginning. So that was a great way for you to end things off by saying, hey, he listened to his body at the end of the day because he wants to have as many sunsets as he possibly can.
Yeah, and don't get it twisted. He still works out every day. He's still on some no days off shit. But I think he realized there was a component missing, and so I think he added that. And he says he's seen great results. He said now, he feels like he's better than ever now that he's added this missing component.
Yeah, I got it because even me, and I know you've done it too. It's like I might not take any days off, but we do something as we call active recovery. Where it's like, I'm still going to be active, but I'm not going as hard as I did a day or two ago. So it's like, hey, I'm working out, but my workout might just be light cardio. My workout just might be my stretching. It might just be my walk. So I'm actively recovering. So I technically didn't take a day off, but I'm not going full steam ahead every damn day. That is unsustainable. I will never do that. But for me to be like, oh yeah, I don't take any days off. I always do something every day. Sure. And I got a lot of my clients doing that. I'm just like, nope, every day I want you to do this. Just every day you're going to do something, that's active recovery. Now, when they're with me in the gym, I'm going to turn it up a little bit because you're with me. I can watch you. But when you're by yourself, I want you to do these activities, So I completely agree with that part. That's just active recovery. We spoke on that too. So yeah, man, this was good.
It was, but he's actually not saying that part. What he's saying is he does the stretching and stuff so he could push himself more the next day.
But what I'm saying is when he says, okay, I'm missing this component, that's the component he's missing. So that stretching and that meditating, that's active recovery. You know what I'm saying? Meditation is meditation is still a workout. Yes. Stretching is still a workout, So you're just actively recovering. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I got you. Yeah, so this was our longest pod probably ever. And the way it is, I don't think we can even break it up. So y'all gonna get a super long pod this time. And in the words of David Goggins, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was a lot. You know, it'll be one long one, but we'll probably spend a long time like doing little segments. We kind of went in on a lot of stuff, but I think it's all interesting, and I think that you guys should look back at some of our other podcasts that we touched on. You know, like I said before, put your comments in there. It should be a lot more comments this time because we had a lot to say. You know, so if you stuck around this long, you was
word. Let us know what
you
y'all
was really
think.
listening if you stuck around this long right now. You know what I mean?
Word.
That's what's up.
That's a fact. So yeah, we out of here. Thank you for tuning in. We hope that this was both entertaining and informative. And as always, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Deuces.
Peace.